Episode 42, Mark, and this has been a good one with Chris Johnson of Purify Coffee. And hearing his story of identity crisis, or really just no crisis because he didn't have an identity, and his journey to find one that took him through really a life of drugs and incarceration. And last episode, finishing up in jails where you wanted to be. With handcuffs, you were free to pursue Christ and what was in your heart. So here you are, Chris. Pick it up from there now. You're getting out of prison. You're about to face one of the greatest trials from a different perspective of your life, called freedom after incarceration. Mm-hmm. What does this look like, and where are you at in your faith? How are you going to overcome the old man?
Well, sometimes I sit back and I ask God, why me? And why not the man next to me who's still struggling with drugs? Because I believe God miraculously took that from me. Mm-hmm. He just said, okay, enough, boom, and just took it. So like we said last time, I had great family support. And so when I came home this time, First I went to a rehab facility that the state makes you go to. Did it help? A little bit. It was just telling me what I already knew. Mm-hmm. But they're trying. I have nothing against the state trying to make these rehab facilities. Some people may not know what I've already known through all these other 12-step programs I walked through. But so after I came out of that unit, my family was there to support me. My mom bought me a car because she didn't want me riding the public transportation system, because she felt like eventually I would call on the only friends I've known for rides and transportation, and she believes that's what may have caused me to tumble last time.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
But there was just a shift in my heart. It had been fed for years. It had heard the word. It had digested the word. It had heard wrong doctrine. And wait a minute, that's wrong. Why? This is why. And I've jumped into serving God, not just being a pew warmer or a chair warmer. And so now I've experienced God in different ways and His goodness. And I get out and I am on fire. I'm ready. I wasn't worried at all. Wow. So I was going to 12-step programs. I was doing whatever I could do. I was looking for a job, and because that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to work, and I wanted to find my wife. That's what I want to do. I want to work, find my wife. I want to start a family. That's what I want to do. While I was in prison, I was actually dreaming about coffee, though. We'll get to that. It was something I was wanting to do since then, even built like a website. Because I took 2 years of college while I was locked up. Learned to ride horses, learned to shoe horses, trim horses' feet. I did whatever I could in there to further my education, my spiritual position as far as God would allow. So volunteering coaching for my friend's team, because I didn't have no kids. And I love football. I would do that today full time if I had an education. And I hadn't started this company. But I asked him, I said, man, I need a job to some of the coaches. And they're like, you don't want to work where I work. It's construction. I said, dude, I don't care. Yeah. I will do anything. Trust me, I'll do anything. He goes, you don't want to work with me. And a lot in the construction industry, there's a lot of hatred amongst nationalities. It's just true. He's like, you probably won't fit in well. It's like, I don't care. I know how to get along with people. I'm not scared of nobody. I just did 4 years in prison with all different nationalities. So give me an opportunity. Gave me an opportunity. I started off with a shovel in 2012. And I ended up growing. In 4 years, I hurt my back, moved inside, head over accounting department, equipment manager, operations department. I was in estimating department and all these things. God just excelled me through the heart of serving. Right. But during that time when I got out, also I knew I needed to get plugged into a church. So it was an awesome church called 429. It's no longer going on. Pastor Jeremy Foster of Hope City is actually the lead pastor, and I got plugged in there. I walked in because they told you in prison you'll never find a church out there that worships God like we do in here. And I agreed with that until I met this church. It's like, man, they're on fire for God. Thousands of people coming to services. It drew me in, right? At that point, it was, I don't know if it was emotional. There was partial emotional drawing there, but I jumped right in. I was on the usher team. I said, hey, I want to serve. I was doing This is not to brag. I'm just saying how I'm throwing myself into Christ. Like, what do you want? What can I do? I want to be involved in this. I was doing homeless ministries, outreach with people, just getting involved. And so then this is where the biggest blessing I've had since I've gotten out came along. Her name's Amber Johnson, and Amber Palmier Johnson, and she reached out to me through social media. And I was so on fire, focused on finding my wife and serving God, that she reached out to me, and I immediately responded, "What are you doing? Trying to build up your friend account, or is there a reason why you're reaching out to me?"
Yeah.
Like, she talks about it today. I was just so short with her. And so I invited her.
Why were you short with her?
Because I'm on mission, man.
Oh. You want to kind of vent a little bit on what the deal is.
Well, I just want to, I'm not trying to have my emotions played with at this point.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a wife and not for a girlfriend. And I'm trying to serve God and work.
So how did she find you on social media? Were you in the same?
We went to school. So you know when you're on Facebook, hey, suggested
similar
friends.
network.
High
Yeah.
school, yes.
It's pretty cool how God shielded us, as we were saying earlier. But I feel like he shielded us from knowing each other, because I probably would have destroyed her life if I would have had any type of influence on her, just like I did to everybody else around.
So was she a believer at this point?
At this point, she's a believer. Yes, she's a believer at this point. At this point, she had attended Fallbrook Church, so she ended up coming to the 429 service. She says she still holds it against me that I did not sit with her. I was serving the whole time. That's why I did not sit with her. And actually, when I saw her, I was like, okay, I don't know. She's my wife, But I ended up hurting my back. Remember I mentioned hurting my back at work? And that was a real tough crisis for me, where I had one slip since I've been out. Now, it was July 4th, 2013. I had a slip up because I was working hard. God, I'm doing what you want me to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to work. I'm serving at church. I'm reading the word. I'm tithing. I'm doing everything you telling me to do. Yeah. And my back goes out to where I can't tie my shoe. I can't wash my feet. Yeah. I'm sneezing. I'm crying.
Oh, man.
And so I was like, whatever. I'm going, and so I slip up 1 or 2 days. That's when I saw that God had delivered me from it. Like, he's like, he's like, this is what you want.
Yeah.
This here. And it was like, from that day, it was clear to me that God had just removed it. And so in that time, when my back was hurt, the way my wife served me, God said, this is your wife.
Wow. What do you mean? She's not your wife at this point.
No.
So this way, this stranger lady that you knew from high school comes alongside. She meets you on social media. You say, yes, I'd like to meet you. She comes to church. You don't sit with her. At this point, your back is hurt, and she starts befriending you.
Yes. She invited me to come meet her. And meet her and Christian, which is my oldest son, at the park. I take my nephews. We meet. We talk a little bit. We get to know each other. And then I hurt my back.
What do you mean your oldest son?
Christian is her.
Her oldest son.
I like to say,
because it wasn't yours at that time.
Yes.
Just got to get the picture clear.
Yeah.
So she brings her son, and she meets with you, and you guys are starting to build a relationship. What year is that?
It's probably like 2013.
13.
I got out in 12. This is probably late 2013.
Yeah. How long before after you guys are married?
See, the teaching I was under at that point, don't play around. Court, are you going to marry? Get married. Don't play around.
Yeah.
One thing he said about men is men are afraid to commit.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want to commit, but they want all the benefits of a committed person.
Come on.
You know what I mean? So, like, you want to sleep with her, you want to lay with her, you want to take care of her, you want to do all these things, but you don't want to commit to her as a husband, so that if it ever goes bad, you can, okay, it's just not for me.
Yeah.
And so I was under teaching at that point. I love that man of God, Victor Gaddy. I ended up leaving that big church because I saw the way Victor Gaddy was serving the people in his congregation. I said, I need that leadership. And so I saw that, and at this point,
that's the church that Amber's going to.
No, this is a different church. It's called Higher Calling Family Outreach. Okay. I don't even know how I ended up. I ended up there because of a recovery meeting. I was just going to different recovery meetings, and ended up there. Switched churches. Me and Amber are still. You asked a question. I want to make sure I address. You said Amber. Oh, she was serving me because I hurt my back.
Yeah.
It just blew my mind. She went and researched back injuries, found out what vitamins she needed to purchase in order to help with the back injury from a natural standpoint. Went to Panera, got me a gift card, and also got me soup and got me some other things and brought them to me. I was like,
if you keep going on, I'm going to have to brag about my wife too. It's so great when we can meet with other guys and we brag about our wives. That is so beautiful. So she's caring for you.
Yeah. So this is the woman I need. This is the woman.
Man,
she's hot, and she's and she's got a heart of gold.
So out of curiosity, did you ever like ask her what drew her to you back then when you weren't exactly a match?
You mean back in high school?
No, like when she reached out to you
beginning?
and then she cared for you. I mean, because obviously you were going through a lot of things, so you weren't exactly the most eligible bachelor.
I have not. I haven't asked her other than being maybe physically attracted to each other. Maybe she followed my posts because everything was about God when I got out. Like I didn't post anything that was, if it wasn't about God or maybe working out or something, it wasn't. It wasn't worthy to me.
So it was probably the heart.
Yeah, she saw that, and then when she met me, she said another thing that really attracted her was like the fact I don't care about sharing all this. I'm an open book with her from everything. Like she's like, I met you, and you told me your whole life story. Like the first time I met you, I loved it. And so that was another thing that attracted her.
So what is God? The last little bit we've got. What is God doing in your life now? What's in your heart? What's your passion? Where are you at?
So with all that. When I was locked up, I was, Lord, what can I do that will allow me to tie my desire to see people do better along with a desire to provide for whoever my family is? And I thought about coffee. I was like, wow, everybody drinks coffee. You drink coffee, you want to read a book. You drink coffee, you want to hang out, you want to interact. Man, that's a pretty cool deal. And so I just started kind of researching it. And it was always in the back of my mind to do it. But I never knew that I was actually going to do it. It was just like, oh, that'd be a cool thing to do, And so as I began, working hard at the job where I was at, every day, showing up, working as hard as I could. It just I wish I could give you the pinpoint time where I was like, okay, I'm doing coffee. But I wish that I could say it, but I just had this desire to do coffee. And so I also had the desire to see young men who have an identity crisis or they are going through an identity crisis to really get some sort of tools to succeed. A lot of young men, especially in the school district where my heart is kind of at, Spring ISD, where are their fathers?
Yeah.
Where are they?
Yeah.
What kind of learning skills are they learning? I am tempted, even with the busyness of a new company, to neglect, not tempted, I have to be careful not to, I'm not tempted, to be careful not to neglect the raising of my kids. Even in the pursuit of something good.
Absolutely true.
It's very hard.
And so that's where we are today. I don't feel like I'm making much sense, but just to make it clear, I saw coffee as an opportunity to bless people who produce it, because it's produced in a third world country. To somehow tie it into the local community where I can build up young men or build up the next generation. Because see, coffee is an industry where people are just passing through. Unless you own the company or you are a huge company, then there's not enough money in there for you to take care of your family. Most people that work at coffee shops, what are they? Young kids, right? Because they're on their way somewhere. Maybe they work it while they're going to college or work it while they're going to high school. So I saw it as a perfect opportunity to be a door that young kids pass through where they pick up tools on the way to wherever they're going.
Interesting. I haven't never thought about that. That's a very interesting point.
So do you have a website?
I do. So the website it's kind of hard. But
maybe you can show that.
Yeah. I don't know if they can see that from far back.
Well, also for the podcast, we're not.
We'll put a link at the bottom.
Okay, cool. So it's Purify Coffee Roasters.
Okay, so how do you pronounce this?
Purify.
Okay, because I was like, is it Purify? I get my French throat thinking.
So when he says my name, Purify.
How much time do we have left?
We got about 5 minutes.
Okay. Quick deal. The reason why I chose this name is because I believe every person is born in a specific way. Specifically by God, with specific gifts, specific calling, whether they're a believer in Christ or not. God created them for a specific purpose. Hopefully they do believe in Christ. But the way that they're created differently with different characteristics, I believe that I know that coffee is the same way. Honduran coffee is one way. Colombian coffee is another way. Ethiopian coffee is, these coffees are cultivated in different ways with different characteristics, just like human beings. And I believe as kids, like with me, as life happened, things began to pile on top of who I am. Lack of money in the home, now I'm insecure with finances. Identity problems with who I am, now I don't even know who I really am. Short, not fast enough. I work out real hard all the time, so I'm trying to be as fast. All these things getting to pile up who I am. The fact that I'm loved by God. He wants a relationship with me. That there's a desire for a relationship here. So I believe for me what God did was He introduced a trial, a situation, a fire to purify me, to remove those things that have kind of stacked up on my life that are not true, to reveal His handiwork, His perfect design of me. So I'm forever grateful for the 4 years of prison. Would I just volunteer to go back? No. But I look back and I'm forever grateful because it was
that's not correct. Let me correct you on this. Because you do volunteer to go back.
Yeah, that is true.
And that is beautiful. And maybe just touch on that really quick too. Some of the ministries. I do prison fellowship ministry. You're doing another one called Jubilee. But let's finish what you're saying there. But you do go back, and that's beautiful.
So, same process I believe God does with us. I want to do with coffee. Honduran coffee is going to taste like Honduran coffee, but I want to play the role of God with the roaster. And I will remove the undesirable traits of coffee, which you don't want to drink it while it's green, and I want to make it delicious like God does us. Purification process.
I like that.
Yeah.
But one thing I was wondering if you can talk us a bit more about is this aspect of young folks passing through the industry. Like, how do you minister to those kids?
Okay.
Because that's a very tough one. I know obviously we don't have much time, but I'm just curious, like, what it's like. If you just kind of paint the picture of how that's...
With this being a bootstrap thing, a lot of things we're figuring out as we go. And how much I worked in my last job, it was hard to focus too much on it. But I think 2 Peter 1, 3 through 10, if you read through there's qualities that God says to supplement your faith with so that you do not become nearsighted and forget that your past sins have been forgiven. So there's 7 qualities there that I want to take them through and teach them. But what I would like to do, however big God will allow this team to grow, for every adult that works for the company, we will hire a part-time high school student that will understand, from sophomore to senior, that will understand that this is not only a job, but you're going to be in a program where you're going to learn about spiritual things, physical things, emotional things, relational things, monetary. We want to teach you how to manage your money. Like, we want to do these workshops. I actually have a meeting next week with the athletic director of Spring ISD to begin. He was my quarterback coach in high school to begin a relationship with Spring ISD, because we want the kid that's on the bubble. We don't want the one that's gone. Bless him, Lord, interrupt that life. And we don't want the one that's got it all together, that's youth leader at church. I want the one on the bubble that the teachers recognize. He's straddling the fence and he has potential. Well, please, and our dream is that our roastery becomes a bus stop. That would be so great. 10 kids get off the bus because they're going to work after school. And so that's the desire there, is and we want to take them on origin trips, because some of these kids are caught up in this apartment. They never leave this apartment complex where the dope boy is, where the prostitute is, and they never leave it. So let's go to Honduras, let's go to Ethiopia, and on over connecting flights you may see California, and oh my God, I want to live here. And now they have a desire and some sort of push to push them to strive and go after.
What is the scripture, right? Without a vision, the people perish. Now, people have interpreted that different ways, but still, the same principle applies. No vision, I'm just going to waste my life away. They need a vision.
That's right.
And I think let's end it with this. We said about dads and men, and we need to get our stuff together. We need to get our stuff together, because there's a lot of life out there that we need to reach out to these young people and let them see some life. Right? And finances does that. We need to be able to, create opportunities so that they have opportunities to go see some life and to get a vision from God that God's calling them to.
Right.
And that's beautiful. What's your website? It's pure. Tell me what it is.
For all those listening, we would love the support, because the more we grow, the more we can help. But the website is www.purifycoffee.com.
Purifycoffee.com. What's your phone number if they want to get hold of you?
832-641-8182. Give me a call anytime. Leave a message if I don't answer, because I do like to spend time with the family. Also, we are on Facebook and Instagram, and we have a roastery that should be hopefully done
I just saw the video
month, and ready to roll. Huge step of faith. So churches, businesses, home, coffee drinkers, we welcome them all.
Very cool.
From big to small.
Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure and a treat to have you I look forward to us getting together again. I know we got together with Billy the other day and somebody else, Jeff. Was it Jeff and Billy? We went out for dinner, and that was really nice. We're going to do that again and keep building just a fellowship of believers. Hopefully Mark and Jesse can join us.
And hopefully you can join us for the advanced quarterly briefing for Fishers of Men on April 6th.
Okay. April 6th.
Okay.
Amen. Well, Chris, thank you so much. Awesome interview, great ministry. I mean, this guy drinks so much coffee, but I would have never come up with the idea that you have, so it's fantastic. That just blew my mind. Congratulations, buddy, and we'll keep praying for you.
Thank you.
Because a big coffee drinker drinks about big 6'4" drinks about 1.5 gallons of coffee a day.
That's my type of guy.
Or more. Or more. All right, guys.
Well, thank you for having me. I think what you guys are doing is awesome. And I think that there's people that you don't even know that are being affected by what you're doing.
Thank you.
And transitioning.
Hey, real quick, what's the prison ministry you do? Jubilee, right?
Jubilee Prison Ministry. You can also
Jubilee.
call that same number where our next event at the Give Lewis unit, there's multiple units, is in November. So give me a call. I can show you guys or anybody listening how to become a part of that life-changing 3-day event.
Good stuff.
Life-changing.
Love you, man.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Yep.